Hello, I had seen a Reddit post about why keys don't increase by 1. To me, that means there are still some gaps in understanding about Mythic Plus. Let's go over some of those basics, and I'll show you why the Mythic Plus timer add-on is a great help on those Mythic Plus runs. This end screen is what a successful Mythic Plus run should end with. Everything completed in time and the key is upgraded. On this run, we upgraded the key by 2 and I gained some rating points. But how do we get there? It can be overwhelming scrolling through all the dungeon groups listed. Learning your limits and goals for a run helps narrow down your search. You can search by a dungeon specifically, or you can search by a key level. Blizzard adds a range when you search by key level. For example, if you were to search for a 4, it would include keys 3 to 5 in the search. To start any mythic dungeon, you need to travel to the location. Dungeons have a summoning stone outside the dungeon portal. To get a mythic keystone, you need to complete any current mythic level dungeon. The first key would be a level 2 and the dungeon the keystone is for is randomized. If you form the group and have the key, make sure that you have selected mythic as the dungeon level. You right click on your character portrait to open up the drop down menu. There you will see dungeon and raid options. Everything else will look the same inside except for the font of power. If other members run ahead, don't yell at them. Once the key starts, everyone is pulled back to the start and placed in a 10-second bubble. The font of power is where you put the keystone in to start the run. Once you hit accept, the dungeon resets and the countdown begins. At this point, no talent changes or gear changes can be made. You can still eat, flask, and use potions throughout the dungeon. This is the base UI look for a dungeon run. Very simple information, the time left, bosses, and the percent of mobs you have completed. I wanted to show the base UI only shows the percent of mobs in the tooltip. This time, I didn't use a key. This is what happens to the rest of the team when you use your key. I had Mythic Plus timer on for the run. It adds the breakdown to what time is needed to upgrade a key by 2 or 3. I borrowed this breakdown from Wowhead, the source of most of my information. It shows how each level increases in difficulty. Each level increases health and damage done. That's why, as you increase your key level, understanding mobs and what spells needs to be interrupted becomes so important. Avoidable damage is time and mana the healer can use on damage, which moves the dungeon along faster. The last perk to Mythic Plus timer is the percent breakdown in the tooltip. To complete a Mythic Plus run successfully, you need to deal with enough mobs and all the bosses in the correct time. If you go over, no harm. You still get credit for some rating, the keystone won't upgrade, and there is still loot at the end. It even counts for the Great Vault. I hope you learned something about Mythic Plus today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you have any questions about Mythic Plus, please leave the question down below. Stay positive, in life, and in game.